So if you haven't gotten out your Unit B note packet, you should have that out right now. You'll also need something to write with today. And if you have your multiplication chart, that's fine. If you don't need your multiplication chart, then you don't have to have that out. Those things out, please. Okay? Before we get started today, so this week is kind of a goofy week here now. So weird week this week. Okay? One, it's homecoming to start, and two, we have what's called an independent learning day. That's right. That's where we're at. You're at. Yep. So you're going to be at home. You don't come into school on Friday. Okay. So you're going to be at home. But for us, for this class, we're going to give you a formative tomorrow in class. That's going to be, and the reason we have to give it to you tomorrow is because Thursday, the second class, this class on Thursday doesn't meet. Okay? Because we'll be down at the assembly. So we're going to hand out the formatives on Wednesday. Okay? That's going to be what you have to do on Friday. Okay? So if you get it done before then, that's fine. But that formative then needs to be turned in on Monday the 2nd. Okay? And then you don't have to watch a video. You don't have to do an extra homework or anything like that. You just have to do this formative assessment. Okay? All right? Any questions on that? All right. So, yes, I said that we're in the notes packet today, but we're actually going to be kind of off to the side, and you actually will have enough space. One second. You'll have enough space down here in this lower right-hand corner to do these first couple of warm-up problems. We were in the process of redoing the notes packet, and then we sent it off to be copied before we hit the next version. So what I would like you to do right now is I would like you to do these 4 warm-up problems somewhere on the B4 note page. PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Do we have a parentheses in number 1? Yes, so we got to do that first. 2 minus 6 is -4. Okay, so that one's going to be -4. So we're going to have 3 minus 7 times get -4. Anything else with the P? No. Any E's? Any exponents? No. Multiplication, we have a multiplier and divide. Multiply, okay. So now we could think of this as -7 times -4, or we could think of this as +7 times -4. This is going to depend here. If we think of it as -7 times -4, then that's going to be plus 28. If we think of it as +7 times -4, then it would be like this. Either way, those both mean the exact same thing. Okay? And we should get 30. Number 2, parentheses. Number 2, parentheses. Yes, but no, nothing to do in them, right? Okay, all right. Multiplication, 5 times 6 is how much? 30. So then this is going to be 4 plus 30 minus a negative. How could I rewrite that? Minus a negative. So that means it's plus 3. Yep, I can rewrite that as plus 3. 4 plus 30 is 34. Plus 3 more is 37. Two minus 7, that's going to become -5. Then I got to do these. So then that would be 2 plus 5. I'm going to say they're plus 20 or minus a negative 20. And minus 6. 2 plus 5 is 7. Plus 20 is 27. Minus 6 is 21. Negative 5 plus 4 is going to be, oops, wrong color, is going to be negative 1. Three minus 4 is negative 1. Plus 6 is positive 5. Minus negative 1 is 6. Yeah? Questions on any of those? Two more. Try those two. Once I get them back to, there we go. Boom. Try those two. So this is going to be 3 times negative 5 plus negative 5 times negative 2. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Negative 5 times negative 2 is 10. So that's going to be negative 15 plus 10 gives me negative 5. Agree with negative 5? Yeah. 2 times y is going to be 2 times negative 5 minus negative 5 minus a negative 2. 2 times negative 5 is going to be negative 10. Negative 5 minus negative 2 is going to be like negative 5 plus 2, which is going to be negative 3. Negative 10 minus a negative 3 is going to be negative 7. Agree with me on that? Good time. Today what we're going to talk about here rather quickly, and the nice thing is that this is a rather quick topic today because you've seen them before. We're going to talk about the difference between a mixed number and an improper fraction. Okay? So a mixed number, now we're back up, again, underneath those two like 5-piece pie chart things up there that says where mixed number is and an example of it. Okay? Here is the true definition of a mixed number. A mixed number is a number greater than 1 that is made up of whole numbers and fractions. Okay? So a number greater than 1 that's made up of a whole number and a fraction. Okay? So it's got two parts to it. It looks like this. Okay? Oops, that one. It looks like 2 and 1/7. Okay? That is a mixed number. It's got a whole number part and it's got a fraction part. Okay? So another example of one would be, I don't know, give me a number. 91. Give me another number. 4. Give me an odd number. That's not odd. 5. Okay. 91 and 4/5 is another example of a mixed number. Okay. So we've got mixed numbers. Okay. Now, I'm going to jump ahead here a little bit, and I'm going to give you the definition of an improper fraction. An improper fraction is a fraction that is also greater than 1, but the numerator, the top, is bigger than the bottom. Okay? So the numerator is bigger than the bottom. Okay? So like 5/4 there. Okay? So both Improper fractions and mixed numbers are fractions that are bigger than 1. Mixed number has 2 parts, whole number and fraction. Improper fraction is in fraction form, like 5/4, but the top is bigger than the bottom. Give me a couple of seconds. Make sure this pill didn't put anything in there for me. So, if we have a mixed number and we want to go into a fraction, into an improper fraction, okay? We're going to figure out how to go both ways here now. If we got a mixed number going into an improper fraction, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to multiply the denominator by the whole number. So if I'm over here on the sideboard and I've got an improper, I've got a mixed up number, we'll call it A and then B over C, okay? So the very first thing that you do is you multiply those two together. Okay? We multiply A times C. Just wait, just wait, just wait. Tap the brakes. Okay? We're going to be what's called working the clock or working around the wheel. Okay? Then, now we do what? Add the numerator. So then we add the numerator second. So then after we multiply A times C, now we're going to add those two next. So those get multiplied first, then those get added second. Okay? So that's going to give us a number. Okay? And that number then we're going to put over the original denominator. So that number up here would be A times C plus B, and all of that is still going to be over C. So whatever the denominator of our fraction was, we put that in there. Yep. Why we keep it as C. Okay? So 4 1/2, is that the first one? No. 2 1/3 is the first one. Okay, so 2 1/3. First thing we do is we multiply these two together. 2 times 3 is? 2 times 3 is 6. Okay? Then the next thing that we do is we add that number, the top number. 6 plus 1 is 7, and that goes over 3 because 3 was my original denominator. In number 2, first thing that we do is going to be 6 times 8. 6 times 8 is? Give me another chance. 6 times 8 is? Anybody win the multiplication chart? 6 times 8 is? 48. Okay, so 48. Then we got to add 5. 48 plus 5. 53. And we put that all over 8. We put that all over 8 because 8's our denominator. Yep. So we got 53 over 8. Okay, we're working around the clock. 24/7, 365. Okay. Number 3, 3 times 5.
15 plus, how much? Plus 2. 15 plus 2 is 17. That's all going to be over? All over 5. 9 times 7? 63 plus 2? All over? Done. Right. With me? That's the easy one. Going the other way, going from an improper fraction to a mixed-up number, we got to do a little more thinking. Yeah? So when we're going the other way, this is on the back side now of your note sheet. So when we're going the other way, the first thing that we do is we divide the top by the bottom. Okay? So we divide the numerator by the denominator. Now, more than likely, it's not going to come out nice and even. Okay? We're going to have what's called a remainder. Or if we're using our chart here, let me go back one slide because we got nice numbers here down here on this one. Okay? On number 4. Okay? So this is the improper fraction. 65 divided by 7. So I'm going to go down my 7 column until I get to the biggest number that's smaller than 65. Okay? So I'm going down my 7 column. I'm at 7, 14, 21. All those are smaller. 28 still smaller. 35 still smaller. 42 still smaller. 49 still smaller. 56 is still smaller. 63 is still smaller. 70 is now bigger. Okay? So I want the biggest number smaller, which would be 63. I slide over. That's 9. That's where this 9 comes in. Okay? Where the 9 up front comes in. We use that chart. We're playing Wheel of Fortune. Not Wheel of Fortune. Price is Right. We want to be as close to without going over. Okay? Then, so that gets me the whole number out in front. Okay? Then, I subtract the leftover. So 65 minus 63 is 2. That's the remainder, the leftover part. Okay? And that becomes the numerator of my fraction. The denominator is still the denominator. Okay? So the denominator stays the denominator. Let's do 2 quickly because we're almost out of time. And I still got a handout homework. Okay? So let's go right to number 6. If I look down the 8th column, what's the biggest number still smaller than 21? 16. So 16 is 8 times what, Chloe? 2. So my number out in front here would be 2. Okay? Then I say to myself, self, what is 21 minus 16? 5? Yep, 5. So then this would become 5 over what? 8. Yep, 5/8. Boom. Just like that. It's a little harder because we got to divide. Okay? Let's do one more. One more quick one. Let's do number 7. Number 7. What's the smallest or the biggest number smaller than 13 that 3 goes into? 12. 12 is 3 times what? 4. So this is going to be 4. How many are there left over? 1 leaves me with 3. When you're doing this fraction that you get here has to be a regular fraction. Numerator is smaller than the denominator.
If not, then you gotta go up by 1 yet. Okay? Homework this evening.